Your Law Firm's Secret Weapon, Episode 312. Are you ready to make your law firm a profit-generating machine that will free up your time and skyrocket your impact? With more than 2 decades of business growth experience and having proven that you can be successful while prioritizing your family and your impact, introducing the Profit with Law podcast. I am your host, the creator of the Firm Differentiator 10X Effect, Moshe Amsel. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Profit with Law podcast. I'm your host, Moshe Amsel, and today I am going to be sharing with you your law firm's secret weapon. What does that mean? Well, we're going to jump into that in just a moment, but before we do, I want to talk to you about something amazing that we have going on. I've alluded to it in some of our past episodes, but I'm going to tell you about it now, send you there. If you haven't been reading our emails or our social posts about it, what I've done is I've taken everything that I'm doing with my elite coaching clients, the ones that are spending tens of thousands of dollars a year to be with me, and I basically took the work that I'm doing with them and I broke it down into a framework that anybody can use in their law firm growth. So if you have been trying to figure out, is there an easy button? Is there a way to skip all the mistakes and all the hard lessons that I'm learning along the way and kind of shortcut the process to success? Now, there is no get-rich-quick scheme here. There's no overnight success. You're still going to have to do the work, but it can really help you if you had a framework to follow, if you had a instruction manual. And that's essentially what I did with the creation of the Law Firm Growth Formula. So this Law Firm Growth Formula is basically a 4-part video series where I show you what the formula is and how to navigate and use it, along with a bunch of extra add-ons that we've thrown in to make this even better for you. So if you want to check it out, go to thelawfirmgrowthformula.com, thelawfirmgrowthformula.com, and right on there you can see all the information about it. You can check up on it and decide whether it's for you. It is not free. But we made it really inexpensive. It's $97. So go there, check it out, and buy it. Because we'd love to see you inside. We'd love to see you check it out, learn from it, and be able to use it as a guide in your law firm growth. Now, into today's episode, your law firm's secret weapon. Now, it's funny because you would think that I would have created an episode by now with this title, but I haven't. Now, I received a package, and I get packages all the time from people sending me gifts, which is wonderful. It's a nice little benefit of having a platform and being in the spotlight, or having partners that you're working with. And it's interesting to see who are the gift givers and who is not. I know that I do a poor job of sending gifts in the other direction, but we're certainly working on it. But it always feels good to get a package with your name on it. You're not expecting it. Well, this particular package came, and when I opened it, it had a note, and it was from our sales team. Now, we have an outsourced sales team. We have an outside company that does our sales. It's owned by 2 wonderful, amazing women. Their names are Jasmine and Kat. And there's a note in this package that says, congratulations on reaching 100,000 downloads. And I don't have the note in front of me to give you the exact verbatim of the message, but essentially it was congratulating us for this accomplishment of reaching 100,000 downloads on this podcast, and signed by the 2 of them. So I immediately went and got my phone to record the unboxing, and I got my son Tyler involved, and we opened it up, and it was the most thoughtful gift that I have ever received. And essentially what it is this acrylic plastic with the Profit with Law artwork, and then imprinted underneath, it looks like a podcast player with the play, the fast forward, the rewind, the repeat symbols, and it has Profit with Law, and it has a title of an episode that's playing. and it's your law firm's secret weapon. And when I showed it to my wife, she said, "Oh, wow, was that like your episode where you hit 100,000 downloads, or where you hit 300 episodes or something like that?" And I said, "No, I actually don't think we have a episode with this title." So I went and I checked, and we don't have an episode with this title. And I said, "Wow, that's a great title, and we really should have an episode with that title." So that gift prompted this episode for multiple reasons. Number one, because I loved the title and I wanted to make sure I recorded an episode called Your Law Firm's Secret Weapon. But number two, I wanted to dive into this idea of your law firm's secret weapon, and how does it tie to this gift that I received from my amazing sales team from Jasmine and Kat. And by the way, Jasmine and Kat, if you're listening to this episode, thank you very much. I know I thanked you in our Slack channel, but here you're getting a thank you publicly. It was very thoughtful and has made it directly onto my my video studio onto the shelves that sit behind me, so that it can be on display when we're recording video here. So if you think about it, what would be your secret weapon? Like, what would be the thing that would make your firm successful or demonstrate the success of your firm? And the reality is that we're hearing more and more about getting reviews, right? Getting reviews is so important. And it's not something that we can tie an ROI to, but essentially goodwill from your law firm, meaning clients who leave happy, is really what lends itself to your growth. Because the more people you serve who are happy, the more people you have out there who are going to talk about your law firm, who are going to bring it up. When somebody says, "Oh, I have this particular issue where I need," or what did you do about this? They can turn around and say, "Wow, I have the most amazing attorney ever. You will never believe what they did." And they share a story, and boom, it's now a shoo-in. When they come to you, they want to work with you. Now, what would make somebody feel that way? What would make somebody feel like not only did you do a good job on the legal front, but you really cared about your clients. You really took care of them. And this is where gift giving comes in. And this is where I'm going with this episode. Imagine, you put yourself in your client's shoes. Imagine your client grapples with who they're going to use. They choose you. They know that they've got a good attorney. And they're in this relationship, which is primarily a transactional relationship. It's basically, I need to gather the information. I need to do this. We need to get these forms signed. We need to go to this court appearance. We need to take these motions and do this. All of that stuff, it's very transactional. It's very much like, okay, here's the things we need to do to solve your problem, to do your case. Now, family law attorneys are probably the only ones that get emotionally involved with their clients. And I know that it actually is detrimental to you to actually carry that emotion. But the reality is that a lot of what you're doing is psychological counseling instead of actual legal work when you're dealing with your clients in that particular arena. But other than that, any other attorney, there really isn't a human-to-human connection on a connection level, on a personal level, right? So imagine if you not only connected with your client on a personal level, but actually thought of a gift that you can send to them to say, "Hey, thank you for your business. Thank you for being an amazing client. And by the way, I was listening to you, and here's something for you." Right? What would be an example of that? An example of that is your clients telling you about their children, and you find out that one of their kids is in college or just got accepted to college. And you go and find something specific to that college, like maybe a sweatshirt or a plaque or a bumper sticker or whatever, and you basically package that up and send it to them and say, "Hey, I was thinking of you." Now, you could go the extra mile and you can be like, "Oh, let me get a picture of your kid, you and your kid together, and have something custom made with the college logo on it." Sure, you can do that. You can really go crazy with gift giving, but the reality is it doesn't have to be that fancy. It just means that you have to connect with your client on a personal level, listen to them, Look for a clue or a cue of something that would be beneficial to them, and then send it their way. They will never forget that. That will be the thing that they recall. Somebody says, "Oh, do you have a good estate planning attorney?" Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. The attorney that I used, you will never believe how amazing they were. And they're going to share the story about the gift that you sent. It has nothing to do with your ability or capacity to serve them legally. But people don't care about that. They don't want, like, it's not they don't care. That's not the thing that's going to attract them. If somebody says, "Oh, my attorney was amazing. They were very thorough with their documentation and everything was covered properly, and I actually had to go to court and deal with something, and the attorney who represented me the next time said that the first attorney was really good." That's not how they're going to talk about you. What they're going to say is, "You'll never believe what this law firm did for me." And that story is going to come out. And sometimes those opportunities present themselves very easily. Like, I don't know, your client calls and says, "Hey, I'm not going to make my appointment because I was just involved in a car accident and now I'm without a car." Now imagine the impression that you'll leave if you say, "Oh, that's no problem. What if we send somebody from our office to go and pick you up? And then wherever you need to go after the meeting, we'll get you over there as well." How will that person feel about your law firm at that point, right? What will they say about your firm going forward? So this is not about going and getting reviews, but this is about thinking about how to change the way that you think about your clients and the culture that you have in your firm to be one of caring for your clients to a level where they matter to you. They matter to you so much that you want to celebrate their wins with them, or you want to celebrate their losses, right? You want to cry with them when they have a loss. You want to be there for them when they have something going on in their personal lives, and that requires being in touch with them, being open with them, allowing them to bring that to the conversation, and then listening. And it just imagine how your clients would feel if they get a phone call from you when their child got engaged, or they get a visit from you when a loved one dies, things like that. Those are the kinds of things that make those impressions that are going to give you what marketers call a promoter. It will give you a promoter for life. And those things, they seem like they take a lot of effort and energy, but the reality is that they really don't. And it's simply a matter of thinking about, watching what's going on, thinking about, how can I celebrate with this person? How can I share this with them? How can I tell them that I'm there with them? I'm rooting for them. I'm proud of them, or I'm sad with them, or whatever is going on at the time. Think about those situations and then start to act on them. Now, you don't have to have some grand plan of how you're going to do this across the board and make it consistent from client to client. Just start by practicing. Start by practicing listening. Listen to your clients. When you're sitting there with them and the meeting is all business, start at the beginning and just say, "Hey, how are you? What's going on in your life? Is everything good? How's the family?" Prompt them with some questions to just allow them to open up. And if you're billing by the hour, tell them, I want to know how you're doing. I don't want you to worry that I'm charging you or billing you for this time. We'll start the clock when we get down to business. What's going on? How are you? No, you don't want anybody sitting in that seat worrying about, "Oh, he's talking small talk about what's going on in my family and I'm charging me $500 an hour to have this conversation." So take that off the table. Make sure that's clear so you're not making them uncomfortable. But start incorporating that in some of your conversations and see how it feels. See how they feel. See how they react to you differently. You're going to find that practicing law takes on a new dynamic when you start adding the personability in there. Now, you may be doing this already, which is awesome if you're doing it already. But what are you doing with that information? Is it going just into your mind and back out again? You just shaking your head, I'm just doing this because I want to make you feel good and I'm going to move on? Or are you paying attention for clues? Are you paying attention to things that you should remember? Write down in your notes, write down in your client file, write down in your database so you remember to ask them the next time. Because those are the things that are going to make you memorable. When you remember something that they mentioned in a previous conversation, that lets them know you were listening. That lets them know that you care about them. That lets them know that they're important to you, and that is what makes impressions. And when you can turn around and solidify that with action, where they get surprised, where they get a gift, or they get a phone call, or you show up somewhere where they're least expecting it, to support them, that is what is going to move the needle for you. And that will be your law firm's secret weapon. So this is a brief, short episode, but prompted by the amazing thoughtfulness of my sales team and the gift that they sent my way. And I really appreciated it, but so much so that I wanted to come here behind the microphone and share this with you, because it's always an opportunity to take it and make a ripple effect out of it, allow other people to enhance their business and their success by taking a page out of someone else's book. So hopefully this was helpful for you. And once again, just want to remind you, we have this brand new framework that I created, spent a lot of time and effort to memorialize that into a really easy, digestible 4-part little video series. And you can get it at thelawfirmgrowthformula.com, thelawfirmgrowthformula.com. Go check it out. If it's for you, great, awesome. We'd love to see you inside. If not, no worries. Don't worry about it. There'll be other opportunities where we can work together. So hopefully I'll see you there. And stay tuned here on the podcast. We got some amazing new content coming your way. Take care. Have you been enjoying the show? We sure hope so. To make sure you never miss an episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button in your podcast player app. Next week, we will be back with more valuable resources and ideas on how to break the mold and take your law firm to the next level.